how much power do you want to give to a specific thought? Hi guys, my name is Karoliina, welcome back to my channel. This is Mindfulness, gathering inspiration for full and meaningful life, cause that's all what we want, right? Today we're gonna talk about thoughts, cause we all have them, like thousands and thousands of them every day. According to one study, we have about 70,000 thoughts each day, and the funny part is that they are the same thoughts we had yesterday, the day before yesterday, and we will have them tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, and so on. With few exceptions, of course. And another funny part is that you barely never in this moment in your head. You're usually either going to the past, thinking about what you should have done, what you shouldn't have done, or you're already at the future, worrying about what might go wrong, what might happen, what you should be worrying about, but you're mostly not in this moment. If you have done mindfulness, you probably have noticed this already. And what I have learned in my psychology studies is that a lot of our suffering comes either from being in the past or worrying about the future. Because, you know, there's like most of the time nothing wrong in this moment. Like, you probably are just fine and well sitting at wherever you are or laying down or whatever you're doing. But if you're feeling down or blue, it's probably because something happened earlier, or you're like trying to avoid something that might happen or will happen. Another fun fact, or actually it's not that funny, actually it's very unfortunate for us human beings, is that most of our thoughts are actually negative rather than positive. And that is because of our evolution. If we go back when we still lived in the caves, it was very important to be aware of the danger, all the negative things, like what might kill us or harm us. It wasn't so necessary to like be aware of the things that feels good or like makes us happy or we enjoy. And now this is very much in our mind still, like this how our mind still works. Why do you think all the newspaper headlines are evoking these very strong negative emotions like fear and confusion? That's only because we are most likely to notice these kind of headlines rather than noticing the happy stories of a kitten finding a home, even though I would definitely read that. And now some of you might think, oh dear, we're doomed, like there is no escaping this because it's in our DNA, in our blood, that's how we were built by the nature. But I am glad to tell you that that's not the case. Fortunately, now 2018, there are not that many things trying to kill us. We already know a lot of the dangers, we know the poisonous berries thanks to our ancestors who did not know them. So we don't really need that much of the worrying and the negative thinking. It is good to have it, and it's good to be critical and like be aware of the things, but you don't need to like have your full attention on those things. Instead, you can actually start to enjoy the life. Let's do an exercise that psychologists actually use at a clinical work. Pick a thought that is bothering you, like some negative thought. You can fill this sentence in. I am and something. If you feel like you're not enough, or you are a bad person, or you're not worthy, or whatever thought that comes to your mind. I will go with I'm not good enough, but you pick yours. So let's go ahead and start. Just repeat after me. I'm not good enough. That is a very heavy, harsh thought. Okay, let's move on. Again, repeat after me. I have a thought that I'm not good enough. Still pretty heavy, isn't it? And now the last step, just please repeat after me. I notice that I have a thought that I'm not good enough. And now just for a second, stop and try to feel the difference between I'm not good enough and I notice I have this thought that I'm not good enough. How do these two feel? Like the first one and the second one. For me, the first one is like super overwhelming. It's like it equals me. It's me. And the second one is kind of like, oh, there's this kind of thought, and you can like take a step backwards and like observe this thought. And when you do that, you can start to ask these questions like, is this thought even true? Like our mind is telling us so many things that are not even true. It's not really lying, but it thinks that they're true, even though they're not. So you can go ahead and question like, is there any proof behind it? Is there any counter proof for this thought? You can go ahead and ask yourself whether this thought is even yours. We pick up so many thoughts from our society, from our parents, from our friends, from our teachers, and so on. You can also start to think whether this thought is serving you at this point. Is it something that will take you further in your dreams and your goals and your vision? Or is it actually stopping you? And now if you feel like this is something you don't really necessarily need anymore, you can just leave the thought outside. For sure, it'll find its way back to your head, but like I said before, mind is like a muscle. You have to repeat these exercises like hundreds and hundreds of times to like actually make it work. And now here's really important part. You don't want to try to get rid of these thoughts. Even though I said like you can leave it outside, that's just like a mental image of you realizing that this thought is not serving you anymore. It's more of like letting this thought be there, but being aware of, okay, this is not serving me. Maybe I'm not giving this much like power, this much attention to this thought. Maybe there's something else interesting in my head. So it's not like trying to get rid of these thoughts, because you know, we all know it's really basic psychology. You don't want to try to avoid your feelings or your thoughts. It's very important that you realize that you are not your thoughts. You don't equal to your thoughts. You can think about it the way that you are the person who is observing all these thoughts in your head. And if you want, you can pick a thought, observe it a little bit closer, zoom in, zoom out. You can either let the thought go, flow away, or you can like get carried away by a thought. They usually take you to unknown and random places, or the places you were yesterday and the day before, like we talked earlier. But let's highlight this: you are not your thoughts. But they can still be there, they can still be present, you can still hear them, have them in your head, but act against them. For example, I am acting against all my thoughts in the head saying, you can't do this, you shouldn't vlog, you're gonna make a fool out of yourself, you're gonna embarrass yourself, it's gonna be a big flop, and everybody's gonna laugh at you. I have this kind of thought in my head, I have this kind of fear in my head, but I still decide to have this vlog because I feel like there's a lot of important things that I have to say, and like a lot of you guys can actually benefit from. So even though the thoughts are still there, I haven't got rid of them, even though I have put them on my table so many times and left them there, now I'm just friends with them. That's becoming aware of your thoughts and your emotions. And we're gonna talk about a lot about these things later on this channel, because it's so important. Like, our head is like built from so many different things, and so many different things are affecting it, and it's just good to be, you know, aware of what's going on in there and what you would like to be happening between your ears. You know, we all know the person who says that they can't draw or they can't sing. Like, this is just a simple example. For those people, their minds are telling them that you can't sing or you can't draw, but we all know that that's not even true. Or if we take like a really harsh example, let's say like eating disorder, your mind will tell you that you're fat or you're looking disgusting, even though like rest of us will see that that is not the case at all. So please be critical on your thoughts, because it'll tell you all kind of things that are not even necessarily true. That's all for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you found this video useful, and if you're not really like understanding this right away, don't worry, be gentle on your mind and give yourself some time to, like, you know, get familiar with this kind of thought and approach to your mind. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please go ahead and do so. Also, if you have any questions or comments or any topics you want me to cover, just leave me a comment, send me a message, or any other way you can reach me. Thank you guys for watching, I appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you again next week. Until then, take care and have a wonderful day.